Well, hello again. It is that time that I get to talk to each of you about praying with kids. I know that praying with kids can be intimidating to some and can be very confusing because you're not quite sure how to pray with a child. If you were to pray with an adult, you'd have it down. But with kids, we've got to really make sure we're watching our verbiage when we pray with kids. The younger they are, the more concrete thinking they are. Even if you get to the place of saying to ask Jesus into your heart, I will tell you that some of the younger kids, the third graders, that can still be a physical thing. And I know that from a past experience of when someone had prayed for Jesus to come into their heart. And one time I was called into the hospital for this child. They were having heart surgery and had a bad heart, and they were getting a new one. And they just kept crying and crying, and no one knew why. And I couldn't figure it out either until finally it came down after about an hour and a half, 2 hours of this child crying, that they got out to us that it was due to they just accepted Jesus into their heart, that physical place, and they didn't want to lose Jesus. And so ever since then, I've always said, pray for Jesus to come into your life. You use your own verbiage, but it's just to be aware of what verbiage you are using. And then when you pray with them, make sure that you get down to wherever they are. If they're on the floor, you get on the floor. If they're standing up, you kneel down to get eye to eye. I would suggest that guys pray with guys as much as possible and ladies pray with girls as much as possible. When it's not possible, because sometimes our numbers are very different, you don't want to leave a child up there by themselves too long where no one's come to them, because then they think it's just time to go. They begin to get embarrassed, but that image thing begins to come in. So then I would suggest going over, keeping your hands right where they should be, up on the shoulders, on the top of the head, the back of the head. If you hold their hands, keep it nice and in front of yourself and them. And so just use wisdom that all of you, I know that you come with anyway. So let's use that wisdom. And then make sure that if you do a repeat after me, at the end, you ask them, what did you just do? Can you explain to me? Because it begins to build faith when the children begin to say and talk about what they just did. All of a sudden they hear themselves, and that confidence builds. And man, I'm telling you, there is no better evangelist than someone who just accepted Christ at any age. And remember that kids, when they come, it begins right then. So if they accept Jesus, they know Jesus. Jesus is actively in their life right then. You might want to talk to them about a for what. If they happen to be not in your group, in your church, make sure you get with their leader. Find out who their leader is and go talk to them. There are so many things about praying with kids that we can go over. If you see myself or Kevin or any of the Kidsmen team, and we'll make them known to you when you're there, please come and see us, because we want to make sure that everything we've done has built up for the altar time, for that God time at the end. So hey, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at camp. And again, feel free to call me, text me, get a hold of me or any of the Kidsmen team, and we will gladly talk with you. All right, talk to you later.